athletics and other clubs, like I said. So just to show you where you're at, here is the current status of the DSU Computer Club. You were just over $2,500. That is 35% of your goal. Last year, you were just over $5,000. I think it was like 5,500 was actually the number. We set a goal for 7,500, and the reason we did that is we really think we can take off this year with some of the updates we have for you. So see here, that's from 14 donations. You have over a month left, which is really nice because the day of service, the support side, Trojans Give Back, all of that is Thursday, which means we'll leave this campaign open for a month after the fact. So that allows people to send emails, mail things in if it's a check. Hopefully they're not mailing cash, but if somebody does give you cash, you can come bring it to me up at the foundation. But we'll get that all plugged in, and this money all goes right back to you guys. We've been asked before, how much do we take? Just to be transparent, it's 5%. Okay. So if we can blow past $7,500 and just keep moving that target goal up, if you guys get up to 20 grand, that'd be awesome. It all goes back to your club, and it's up to your leaders and your faculty supervisor how that money gets spent. So we have nothing to do with it. It's put in a discretionary fund, and it's up to you. Okay. So with that being said, here's some more statistics you can see here, just how this works. This is something I can track. So we've got 14 people already registered. Like I said, we met about a week ago, and we'll go under what under participating, fully participating, all that stuff means. But what I need from you right now is to take out your phone, and I need you to scan this QR code. If you've already done this, if you were in that meeting last week, please do not do it again. What this is this will create a profile for you. So go ahead and get your phones out, scan that. It's a very easy setup, okay? Just a quick thumbs up after you get it scanned. There's going to be 4 options. The first one, before you even get to an option, it's just going to have you create a profile. So that's just plugging in your personal info. It's very simple. Just wants to know like your cell phone provider. I would remember this email and use. You can go ahead and scan that QR code. Yep. Just a quick thumbs up if you are new this week. You weren't there last week. Just a quick thumbs up when you're all good. Okay. So you should see the first option. That's family share. Okay. Now, what's really cool about this new feature that we have is we can actually see each of you live time register. So there's really no hiding. So if you're in this room and you weren't at the meeting last week, we should see your name pop up on here. Okay. So your first option is family share. What you want to do is you want to put in your mom or dad or grandma, grandpa, whoever you grew up with. Only enter 2 names. Okay. What family share does is it allows your family members to plug in emails and cell phone numbers on your behalf. Okay. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on. We're going to skip over social media today. We're just going to focus on mainly the text and the email portions. That way you don't listen to me talk for longer than I have to. So you see here, we got a couple people registered already.
Oh, yeah. So if you get 10 people, if you send this to 10 people, you'll get a CTF flag. I think it's worth
It's 50 points and then 75 gets.
yeah. So there are definitely CTF points on the line. If you do this, it'll give you an edge on the competition. Yeah, it's a great thing to do.
And this is very easy. Like I said, I'm doing a little bit of a rush job explaining this, so things are kind of popping up as we go. But what's really nice is once you enter all the data in emails, this program will send out automated emails on your behalf without you having to do anything. So if you punch in 10 emails tonight, or you punch in 20, maybe you only punch in 10 tonight, and tomorrow you find another 5 or 6 more, and you want to log back in, you can always add to it. But the program will send out emails on your behalf without you having to do anything to everybody you plug in there. Once they give, so if grandma or grandpa gives $10 on week 3 of the emails, they won't get hit up weeks 4 and 5. Like I said, you got 31 days left of this campaign that this will run for. Okay. Let's see, we got 4 people registered for family share. Okay, we'll move on to text. So that should be the second box on there. Okay, so when you're on texts, you want to hit the blue icon. It looks like the messaging app that's probably on your iPhone or your Android. You want to go ahead and hit that. Do not send the link to groups. So if you got like a family group, don't send it to that, send individually. So if like mom, dad, brother, and sister all in a group, send that individually. Now you want to send text to people that have a giving capacity, right? I'm not going to send it to my 17-year-old sister because she's a tightwad and she makes no money anyway, right? Send it to people that are working and have giving capacity, okay? We'll just spend just 2 minutes on this, but you can always go back and add more. And the texts are really cool because when we met last week, I think we walked out and we were just over like $400. People can give live and you will actually see that number where it says $0 raised. That will actually update live time. The emails will all go out at 7 a.m. tomorrow for those of you that enter emails today, but text will be able to see money come in live today. Spend just another minute or so. Great job, Alicia. She's got 10 points already. Got a handful more people on here. So you can kind of see updates here, what it looks like live. To get those points to count, you got to send it through that blue icon each time. So that'll keep kind of a live tracker for you too as you go when you're on your cell phones, okay? I think I got to add like Jeopardy theme music to this next summer.
Yeah. So yeah, easy points with the CTF, but also while we do travel competitions during the year, like we have Cyberforce and that's in Chicago. We have CCDC that's in San Antonio. CPTC is in Tennessee and New York. We got CTFs going to Minneapolis and Grand Forks. If you don't participate in the fundraising for the club, it's hard for us to justify that we spend that money for you to go travel to those competitions. So at the very minimum, we just ask that you put effort into fundraising so then we can put effort into giving that money to where it's due and sending you to those travel competitions. And that's why it's such a big deal.
I like that. Okay, next one, we're going to skip over this, but just in case you go back and you got free time tonight, is social media. So if you got like Discord, you got other social networks. Facebook is huge if your grandparents are still going or your aunts and uncles are a little bit older. Facebook's a huge one to post this link to, okay? Your link is specific to your campaign. So I think we have set up individually about $800 per person. This software claims that if you actually punch in 20 people, and they have a giving capacity, you should reach $800, no problem. That's why you've seen, when we were back on some of these other sites, you see some of these programs down here, like baseball and track and field, their rates are extremely high because a lot of their student athletes are at $800 to $1,000 already. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Another good one for social media is like Snapchat. Send links out that way. But the big one, because this is our 85% hit rate, okay, is add supporters. That is emails. This is where the program does all the work for you. So you want to try to get as close to 10 or 20 as you can by punching in emails of friends and family that have a giving capacity. And over the next 31 days, they'll get an email each week that this campaign is live. Okay. And I believe their first email, like I said, goes out first thing tomorrow morning. It's normally the evening that follows one, or the morning that follows one of these trainings. So we'll just spend a minute or so on that. Let you guys plug that in. Like I said, try to remember your password when you created your account at the beginning because you can always get back into it. Okay. And anybody that's not here that can't create a profile, a big thing that I would recommend the club doing on Thursday is this is the main landing page. So this is not specific to any one person. This is specific to the club. So if I went to hit donate now, you will actually see that the name comes up as the participant as the computer club. So not an individual. Somebody can give down here. Okay, you see there's a box here that somebody can check. that you actually get your full $100. That means it covers the $4 processing fee. But one neat thing is once you register, say maybe I find this link on a Facebook, Instagram, Discord, whatever it may be. Okay, I find just the main landing page, but one of you guys are my friends or your family member, whatever it may be. I can come down here and I can find the team members that have actually created an account. Does that make sense? Okay. Kind of a neat little feature you see here. Love you, Tucker. Tucker's in here. And I got a nice little, I don't know if that's your girlfriend or who. Mel. Oh, okay. Yeah. Good cover up. But you can see people can leave a little fun message too if they choose to. Otherwise, a lot of people just choose to be anonymous, especially when they give larger sums of money. So, see here, this was last week. We got a nice $520 donation while we were doing something like this. So, just kind of simple. I don't want to leave you guys. And if you guys got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, like I said, you can go back in. You can log in anytime now, up to 31 days, and you can always add people into the system as well as you find more people. Okay. Dakota State emails are blocked until Thursday. So because it's Trojans Give Back, we did not want staff faculty getting bombarded with emails from a variety of students or student athletes, right? We want them to be able to relax and decide what campaigns to give to. But on Thursday, DSU emails will be unblocked. So if you're trying to send a staff and faculty right now and you're wondering why you're getting kicked, because we have that set up that way. All right. Questions? All righty. Thank you guys. Think you guys will be great. I'm excited to watch this number grow.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
I guess. All right. CTF. Are you logged into the CTF?
Might be.
If not, we can just use my computer. It's okay. That CTF we mentioned, it's like any other club meeting. Mostly it's just CTF meetings where we have and then there's a second one if you get the full 20, which that's awesome, guys. It's not about how much money you raise, it's about putting in the effort. And so we really appreciate that you guys have taken time out of your days for that. And for the rest of our meeting, we'll go over the pickle, the PCL / IA lab, whatever you want to call it these days. That and how to use that for personal projects and leverage it in your free time just to learn more, as well as other helpful resources around DSU that will give you a better experience and help you with your classes. players. It's next Wednesday, 10 to 2, the DSU Fieldhouse, which is the basketball court over by the community center. What you want to do ahead of time is you want to prepare a resume, just touch it up a bit. I know the resume rave is this week. If you haven't signed up for an appointment, that's okay. Maybe you still can, I'm not sure. But as long as you just touch it up ahead of time, you'll do a lot better than most people here at DSU. You want to wear semi-decent clothing, and you want to practice selling yourself. Like, just kind of just think about, okay, who am I? What are some basic skills I have? What do I want to get out of this? And just kind of learn how to sell yourself in like 30 seconds. Just kind of write up an intro for yourself and recite it a couple of times. And with that, we'll have a couple info sessions. A lot of employers like to come to these meetings and talk to you guys because they know DSU has some great graduates for careers and just internships in general. Mattel will be our meeting next Tuesday here in East Hall 100. They will bring pizza. I was just confirmed that today that they will bring pizza, so we'll have free Pizza Ranch or whatever pizza they decide to bring. Usually it's Pizza Ranch. And they'll have a little session talking about them. They're a defense contractor from Columbus, Ohio. We'll also have Idaho National Lab, INL, next Thursday at 5 o'clock, and they'll talk a bit. I know Omnitech is also going to be around tomorrow, and Beacom 112 and DigiKey is next Tuesday. So lots of things to keep an eye out for. It's a busy week. It might be a little overstimulating, but it'll be worth it in the end if you can get that good internship or just make those connections. That's the biggest thing about it.
All right, then we're going into the IA lab and the pickle. I'm not really sure what it is fully anymore because they swapped over to EA6i. They swapped over from EA6i to Proxmox and they went back, and I'm not sure the current state of it. But anyways, it's DSU's VM hosting server. And there's three main sections. The main one that you've probably all interacted with at this point is the Learn, which is where all of your classes host their VMs and where you access that. But then there's two other sections that not as many people know about. The project section, where any student is allowed to go create any VMs or networks or environments that they want, and it can be anything. And then there's also the DefSec section that is supposed to be more for clubs and activities, but as long as you're not doing anything too crazy, no one's really going to regulate it. So, anyways, we're going to go through setting up an iLab environment just so everyone knows how to do it. So I need you all to go to that link if you want to follow along.
We'd recommend this. So IA Lab is the ESXi version that's kind of getting phased out, but in the PCL is Proxmox. I'm not sure who all is familiar with Proxmox, but it's more open source Linux version of it. IA Lab is definitely better. The ESXi portal is a lot more polished than the PCL is, and I use it a lot more often. But you might have to, yes.
Is it Proxmox Learn? Because
PCL is Proxmox, and then IA Lab is ESXi.
No, not the Learn. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's still E6i because I'm pretty sure it's just a different web wrapper right now. I'm pretty sure it's the same.
The more you know.
All right. If anyone needs a link, just let us know. But anyways, when you go to this link, you're going to see all different parts of the iLab. At the bottom, there's the specs that are kind of cool, I guess, if you care about that. But doesn't really matter.
So the iLab has 148 terabytes of raw SATA. Kind of a lot. 77 terabytes of raw SATA. Yeah, there's kind of a lot that goes into it. It's a really powerful here, and it's really important that you use it to its full extent because you can learn a lot from it.
And you're already paying for it. It's completely free. So you may as well use it while you're here. Then this is just all the access to all the different portals. So Learn is where you're going to go through and find all of your class stuff. Like if we go there. And you can also use this instead of the pickle if you don't like the pickle's interface. Because this one's better. Going to be honest. But what?
Yes.
Yeah, the pickle will double type sometimes. But anyways, so we can go down to VEPs and then we can see all of all of mine, I guess, all my class VEPs that I have right now. Then So today we're going to go through the DevSec, but everything we do can fully go through the projects one as well. The only thing that's going to change is, I guess we'll get to it later. There's only going to be one slight thing that is different, but it doesn't really matter. And let me know if I'm going too fast or if anyone gets lost, we can definitely help people catch up. So once we get into DevSec, everyone should be able to log in with, it should be your first, not last, and then your DSU password to log in. If anyone's having any problems, let us know and we can try to help, but should be pretty simple.
Yeah, if anyone needs help, just ask me and I'll be around.
All right, so my view is gonna be a little different than yours because I have the admin view, so I can see all the VApps, but it doesn't change anything. So there's gonna be, if you click on the VApp button on this, not the far menu, but like this middle one, there's a new button right there that you can click, and then you can click the new VApp to build any new environment that you want. Then you can name it whatever your heart desires, I guess. And then once we get to this point, we can add all of our virtual machines. So the first one we're going to do is, because it's the greatest operating system ever that has no problems, we're going to make a Windows server. So there's two ways you can create a VM in iLab. You can either click new, and then you can go through and fill out all of the information. We're going to just do from template today, but I'll just kind of show you what the new one looks like. You would go through, select the image, and then you would go through, find your ISO, and then you can go down here and you can change all the CPU cores, the number of sockets, the amount of memory, the storage, which is nicer when you would need more powerful VMs, because when we go from it will only give us what the template is created, and I don't know if there's a way to change it or not later on, but it should be enough. Can you change it later on?
Yes.
Okay. I've never had to, but so when we go from template, we can click on these nice little hopper looking things, I guess. I don't know what else you'd call it. And then you can search for anything you want. So we could search just Windows and get all the Windows images that exist. And then I'm just going to choose 2019. It doesn't matter, but 2019. Then if you scroll on here, you can also see the CPU and the memory that is going to be allocated directly to our VM. And then we can leave the storage policy as default. All this is default. So this is where you can get tripped up. There is not a NIC plugged into your VM by default in the IA lab. You have to manually click the button to connect your NIC, and you also have to manually select your network. There's, in DefSec, there are 3 networks we're going to use, depending on what you're doing. You can use the blue team, lessons, or red team. Just do whatever one you think sounds the most like what you're setting up your environment to do. It doesn't, again, it doesn't matter too much, as long as you're not setting up like a Bitcoin node to mine, which I don't recommend doing because they will, and they will not be happy with you. And the iLab is also not great at mining Bitcoin. Someone else's. Was that our freshman year? Or was it the year before us?
Something around.
Yeah. Anyways, so we can choose whichever one we want, and this will just give us full internet access. And then if you want to make it static, you can. But I would recommend just leaving it on DHCP, because that way you'll automatically get an IP address and you won't have to do any fancy networking to figure out how to set it up. And then we can just click OK. Then we can just add as many virtual machines as we want. Like, I'll just do Ubuntu. And then I think we'll just type Ubuntu in here. And then we'll just choose any one works. And then I forgot to grab the NIC, so we're just going to redo that one. From template, Ubuntu, scroll down, connect to the NIC, because our virtual NIC doesn't connect automatically. And then we'll just click OK, and then just power on at start, and then we'll hit create. And then, oh, VM Computer Club 923. I forgot the names were shared, so we'll just do that. And then create. And then I don't know where, and then how do I get, is it this? Yeah, so you can see the VEPs being created right here. It'll take a little bit before they appear, and just because they have to copy the image over. But then once we get over here, we can just wait for our VMs to finish. And while we're waiting, so if you ever use the personal projects one, what you're gonna have to do is a little bit different. You're gonna have to go over to, oh shoot, we have to wait for it to be resolved anyway. But in this tab right here, anyway, there's something called there's a networks. And once it's resolved, there'll be a button to click new, and you can create a new virtual NIC that you can plug into any of your VMs within the environment. But we'll just wait until this is done. Does anyone have any questions in the meantime?
Does anyone have any questions about what the IA lab is or the pickle?
I have many questions about what it is at this point.
Or like about type 1 hypervisors and things like that.
Is the pickle inside like part of IA labs?
So from my understanding, because if we just, I'm just gonna go back here. Oh. The pickle is just a wrapper for iLab. It's, I think, just making API calls, but I'm not entirely sure because they won't share how it works, which I don't blame them for not wanting to share, but we don't really know what the interaction is, I'm going to be honest, which leads to many of the problems we have with the pickle.
We'll have in a couple weeks. We'll have a tour of where all these servers are. They're over in the science center. Actually, it's a huge data center. So they have racks and racks and racks of computers, and we'll have you guys there. We'll have a couple faculty give us a tour of how it all works and how the cooling system works and how all the computing needs kind of go together. So that'll be a really cool meeting. But yeah, we don't really actually know that type of stuff. But the faculty who will tour us around in there, they will tell you guys.
Okay, now that mine is done, so if we go back to our VEP and we go into the VEP and then we go to networks, we can create new. I think the isolated ones are broken. I'm not entirely sure, but the other day in Windows Admin, I'm pretty sure we were able to ping each other from isolated networks. So yeah, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. But anyways, you can choose a new direct network. If you ever do make one in a personal projects, there's going to be actually you can see them here, DefSec 1, DefSec 2, DefSec 3. You just are going to include one of these three and it should just work. So like you can add that there. And now we have the two virtual NICs in our environment. And then if you ever want to swap out what NIC it is, you can just click on your VM. Over here, there's a little hardware tab. There's the NICs, and then we can edit the NIC. Then we can change which network our VM is on. So that's the only difference between the projects and learn is just the networks that are available to you. But it shouldn't matter too much in the long run. And then when we are here, you can either click on the virtual machines to get console, or you can just click on this little icon that's like right here. Then all the passwords from all the templates is always going to be, the username is lowercase DSU, and then the password will always be uppercase P password one bang exclamation point. And then we can log into all of our machines. And then there's one. Yes, the Windows will be administrator. The Windows server will be administrator. Just because I don't think you can change Windows Server username by default. I think it has to be administrator. And then, someone set it to a picture of a shoe, which is a little odd, I guess, but I guess. And then we can fully just do whatever in our environment now. So, just for fun, we can enable SSH. Actually, it's start, not. And then anyone who's, is it SSHD?
We're Windows admins.
Is that, listen, is SSH on the newer versions of Windows of, is it that? Oh, all right, so you know what? That's not gonna work, but you know what? That's okay. That Ubuntu is a little too old, I guess. But anyways,
Yes.
I think a question, for the purple ILF, can you do customize those? Or only one of the ones you can select from? Do you like do a custom one if I like?
so we can, yep, we can
Yeah.
go show you. Yes,
Are you in projects? Or?
I'm in DevSec.
Yeah, this is just from a template, just
Yep.
to make it a little easier because it was already set up. But you can definitely just pull an ISO off the internet. Wait,
You
maybe
can't
not.
you can't upload them. The only thing you're limited to is the ISOs that are already in the. If you
there's so many.
have,
Then you got talk to Galen. He'll get it.
if you ever want an ISO added, message Galen in the Computer Club Discord and just annoy him until he adds it, and then we can look at that. What, John? Is there one you wanted to set up? Do you want to set up Windows or do you want to set up Linux?
Like a Metasploit type thing.
Is there what? Give me a box. Give me a box at least.
That's all right.
Which one do you want, Nathan? We have it.
Didn't you?
I thought it was in there. Oh wait,
You
that's from
set up Red
template.
Star OS on your laptop.
We'll just do Linux.
Red Star OS is a North Korean Linux distro. It's filled with like spyware and other great things.
Um, we'll just do a Debian install, I guess. Yeah. So then when we're going through, we just select new. You have to fill out the guest OS family and the guest OS. I'm not sure how much that matters. I think it just is for the label. I don't think it actually matters.
The label, then it like default. But you can change.
Okay. And then we can go through, we can do two CPUs, two CPU cores, and then we can do actual socket instead of trying to split it. Because I don't know how well that would work. It probably works fine, but I don't like the idea of that mentally. So then we can increase the memory. You can also choose between megabytes and gig. I don't know why you'd ever want this, but I guess, but. And then we can add our network in, which is the blue team DHCP. Then go here, then we can add this virtual machine. And then it'll just take a second to appear, but we can go through setting it up as soon as it appears. You guys can also do a lot of stuff in this. Ethan, were you the one who hosted a server in here, or was that someone
That
else?
was someone.
Okay, but I know people who have. Maybe that was what I was thinking of, but I know people who have hosted like game servers through here or any other servers you can imagine.
The networking gets a little wonky when you're trying to set up a server. Sometimes you have to do weird tunneling stuff, which they're not entirely happy about. But as long as you're not like DOSing the network, you're fine.
So I was gonna ask about how to expose your port.
I don't think you can, but what you can do is you can get a VPN in.
Like using Tails, yeah.
You can either use or because we're on the blue. So for the blue team, I don't know about lessons, but for blue team and red team for sure, we have open VPNs to get into the networks. I think you'd have to message Galen to get one, but you can probably just shoot him a message and then just don't really explain what you're doing. Say I need it for, and leave it very broad. Oh, Galen, you didn't hear that.
Probably be easier to just set up schedule.
Yeah.
Instead of messaging Galen. We should give the poor guy a break.
Oh, that was powered off. Whatever. But anyways, powered on. Yep. I likes to think. But you know, I would recommend heavily using iLab instead of the PCL interface because it makes it a lot easier and it doesn't double type. Whereas the PCL is very prone to double typing, which is very annoying when you have to type in your DAC password to authenticate to the internet. Yeah. Well, if we go to actually, that's going to log me out. But I don't like the GUI. That's all it comes down to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so the PCL was made in-house by Kyle Cronin, and versus the IA Lab is a corporate product. It's
But mostly corporate.
it's more so it's like an actual business product that was released by VMware. I don't know who VMware was owned by.
It was before Broadcom.
There's a lot more people
Well,
behind it than this.
if it'll let me log in. No, it's
No,
not.
it's
It's not even Proxmox. It's
The US, like it
it's
calls it can call Proxmox the back end. Right now it's rigged up to IA Labs as far as I'm aware. There's still some nodes in the back, but
problem number one is, as you can see, is loading significantly slower, and then we'll start lab, and then instead of just working, we have to refresh our browser to update the status, which is annoying to say the least.
You can definitely use it if you want to. It's just most people choose not to because
Oh,
there's
it's still
limitations
still
with the
not on.
product.
Still not on.
it's very much a sort of alpha pre-release state right now.
It is. If you remember at the beginning of last semester, some
Oh, there we
professors
go.
expressed
Now
they
it's
pushed too
working.
many VMs at the same time and they crashed the entire thing for like 2 weeks, and they couldn't get it back up and running because they sent out too many VMs at too short of amount of time.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, like it does fully work once you're in it, but maybe the double type issue is gone now. But like,
it's not.
it's not. Okay.
Yes. No, but
No.
if you yeah. I feel like
Because it goes through the same stuff, loading the image.
right.
You could,
But if we talk to
however,
someone,
yeah, you could probably. Much more hacky solution would be to create a VM which contains another hypervisor because there are ESX VMs in there. We could then access, which you could then like have pull down your image from somewhere else and run it in a hypervisor inside VM. which is a little janky, but it also means you don't have.
Yeah, message Will on Discord,
Yeah,
and he'll
I'll
get
figure
you
it
in,
out.
he'll get you into
Mhm.
contact with the right people.
I love it. What do you mean you're not a big fan? Makes sense for my personal use. It always.
Yeah.
He gets anything.
He gets it. Imperative is better for a live system, but like if I had a server, declarative would be kind of nice. Installing work.
Alright.
These hours.
No. So now, like, this is our Debian ISO. Now we can just fully go through the setup. Alright, hold on. Oh, you guys 15. The default 16. Oh wait, that's the UK. I'm just going through the default. I'm not going to pay attention. But yep, and it's just fully set up like this. Which, if you want, like, if you know what you want a custom system, I would do it this way. But to quickly spin up VMs, do it from the template. Because if you're trying to break it, or you think you are going to break it, I would just boot it from a template, rebuilding the image. If it isn't working, then it should just, nope, host name. I'll just go with the default. But
This is why I didn't need such domain name. Like you never.
we can put in, if we just put in, will this break it? Or
No,
later?
it doesn't
No,
break
but
it.
like when
Doesn't matter
when
what
we
it is.
we could join into the domain though.
Good. You have to install SSSD though.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's cool.
Yes.
Pez. Oh. I hold on. Typing's hard. Okay, they were the same on my life. This one doesn't have that problem. Oh, wait, that is a username. Hold on. What if we
Honestly, average. Big rooms.
Well, it tells you what to do.
You're gonna have to put your hand the money. Then wait, you know,
I like my mouse. I like my little gooey.
I wanted to play a point and click adventure game. Just get Putt from the library instead of installing Windows.
If I wanted to type, I would typewriter.
Just on teletypes on
And they're scary.
they are.
But sure. Anyways, this is the reason why we use temp. I know I am, and I like, what if I just say yes? There we go.
Perfect.
I like shooting myself in the foot. Windows would let me go. Windows would let me shoot. No, in the right way. Yeah, allows you to remove the French language, like. But
You should do that once you've been installed.
oh yeah,
Yeah. remove the first
yeah. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah. But yeah, if anyone has any questions about the A Lab, this is mostly it. It's just a nice tool, especially if you don't. The laptops the ESU gives us can run a Linux VM or two. You're not running Windows VM on these unless they greatly increased the power for the new ones. Which I don't know if they did or not. But if you're ever wanting to follow along with some later topics that Computer Club will be covering, or if you ever want to play around with administrative work or like setting up services and figuring out how they work, I would heavily recommend doing that in iLab just because it's free, doesn't take up any space on your laptop, and then it's just kind of plug and play for the most part. You don't have to worry about any networking, reach each other for network interface on the NIC.
You remember that it does have limits, like or time limits. So you can turn a VM on automatically suspended after like 8 hours, something like that.
Maybe it's like 6.
Is it 6 now?
I don't remember.
I don't remember the. I don't remember the.
I'm not saying that number.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number. Sometimes it's like between 6 to 12 hours. Probably on the lower end of that range. So if you are going to run a Minecraft thing on this, set an alarm on your phone.
Yeah.
You have to go in before you click a button to reset the timer.
Yeah, so we can show you real quick. All you have to do is go to all actions, and then did they get rid of the extended lease? It was under power. I thought it was under power too, but I'm not seeing.
Maybe it's in projects. You might not have.
Maybe it doesn't have it in DefSec, but somewhere there should be a way to.
It's
Like,
on
maybe you have
there.
to do the VApp. Oh, renew lease. Yep, but you have to be in the VApp VM. So
Any other questions? It's time to wrap up the meeting. All right, thanks everyone for coming. Next week we're gonna have Battelle, a defense con. Ohio come. They'll bring pizza, so bring your friends. Listen to the presentation. It'll be great. It's one of students' favorites from past years. It's one of the best meetings of the whole year. So thank you guys for coming, and yeah, see you next week.